If you've ever felt like you are either on track with everything in your life or completely derailed, this video is for you. If you've ever crushed a week or a month's worth of workouts and then missed just that one or a couple after that first one that you missed, this video is for you. Hi everyone, welcome to Mandy's Mess, Fit in the Chaos. I want to share something a little personal today, talking about progress over perfection. The truth is that when we get to midlife, when we get to this 30s, 40s, 50s, now I technically don't know about 50s because I'm 39, but I did start perimenopause super early. I started experiencing perimenopause symptoms when I was about 32, 33-ish. So I've been in it for about 6 years now. But the truth is when you hit midlife, your body just doesn't function the same way that it did when you were in your 20s and maybe early 30s. And that can be a huge change. I know it was for me. I was really excited for my 30s. My 20s were very tumultuous. I went through a divorce, lived with my parents for a while, met my husband when I was 29, and I thought, oh, my 30s are gonna be amazing. I'm with the man of my dreams and I am going to just rock my 30s. And then perimenopause hit about a year or two after we got married, and it was tough. It was really, really tough. All of a sudden, things just weren't working the way that they were supposed to, or the way that they had worked previously. And my pride took a bit of a hit because I was a D1 NAIA athlete, which is like a good D2 school, I guess you could say. And like I knew what I was doing. I knew how my body functioned. I ate pretty good, not the best in the world, but it hit me really, really hard, like hitting a brick wall hard. And I had to change some things, and it took me a lot of time and a lot of research to be able to figure out what works best for me and my body. And believe it or not, it's not more. I have had to completely restructure the way I train, not just because my body can't take more, but because my schedule and my life can't take more. I'm a busy mom of 2 kids here at home. My husband has 5 sons spread across the United States. And just my 2 here at home are ridiculously busy. My daughter is trying to train to become a professional dancer. My son plays football, and if you have a child that is about to enter high school, playing football, it is time consuming. On top of that, I homeschool and I work full time from home. And I am an assistant coach for a softball team, and obviously I'm on here on YouTube. There's not a lot of time for figuring out training, and so I've had to get pretty strategic with how I structure my training and trying to listen to wiser women than myself to figure out, okay, what works best for this time of life. And believe it or not, less is more, which is amazing news. Consistency at this time of life and midlife, believe it or not, is not working out 6 days a week. It is not completely killing yourself in the gym with cardio. And it's not never missing a day. The reason I actually decided to film this today, because I was not going to film this today, is because I took today off. And I went for a walk with my dog during the sunset, and it was actually really, really nice to film, to just take a break from my training schedule that is still not that intense, and take the time to just breathe. But what I can tell you consistency does look like is it looks like showing up fully 2 to 3 days a week. And that fully can be 20 to 30 minutes a day. And that's okay. Because having that cortisol dump at the end of your workout does not serve you in this time of life. I can tell you that from personal experience. Little story time, some of you may have heard this before, is I hit perimenopause and I started gaining weight, and I'm like, things aren't working. I need to train harder. And was literally told that by a PA at Kaiser. And so what did I do? I decided to run a half marathon. And not only was I going to run a half marathon, I was going to run that half marathon in under 2 hours. And I met that goal. And I gained more weight in the process. and not from overeating, because I know I was tracking every single morsel of food that came into my mouth. That's the type A person that I am. And it was extremely frustrating to have met that metric, but not met any other metric. It was demoralizing. So what did things look like for me now? Well, I've finally, after 2 years, gotten back into a little bit of running. My husband, my son, and I ran a 5K a couple of weeks ago, and it was good. Didn't break any records, wasn't in the top 10 for my age bracket. I don't even think I was in the top 20, but it just felt good to get out and run again, and so that was good. Another thing that I am working on that you need to work on in midlife is mobility, because as your estrogen is dropping, things are not going to be as mobile as they previously were. And you're going to have pains that you have not previously had. And so working on that mobility is key in this time period of life. So, and one of the last things that you really need to work on is sleep. Sleep is essential. You can't not sleep. If you do not get a good night of sleep, it's probably not worth it to try and push it in the gym. I'm just being 100% honest. You can go lighter if you really want to push it. But in my experience, for me and my body, it doesn't work. You might be able to get going, and I've talked about in other videos, if you are starting your cycle and like you're tired from that, sometimes you can push it and you can actually lift heavier when you're in the gym, and I have experienced that. But when it comes to sleep, that's a little bit of a different story. And so when you are not sleeping, I do not recommend pushing it. Go for a walk instead. Keep your body moving, but trying to get that muscle adaptation when you are tired, it just doesn't really work as well. So when do you push? Life is not going to be perfect, and you're not going to be able to fit in every single workout. So when do you push? You push when you have good sleep. You push when you have time. Sometimes I have to fit my workouts in the cracks of my days, and that's just how it is. Push when you're not inflamed. Push when you are feeling good. And you get to the point in your 30s and 40s, especially like you cross, at least it was this way for me when I crossed over into my 30s, where I really felt like I knew my body. Now, don't get me wrong, perimenopause kind of makes you feel like you don't know what's going on, but once you do kind of get things figured out and you're like, okay, this didn't feel like it did before, I wonder what's going on here, and then you need to go and kind of research it and figure things out. But once you've figured that out, it's okay to go ahead and push at those times, but then you also need to make sure that you are recovering properly as well. Like I said earlier, I work full-time from home. I've got 2 extremely active kids that I'm still running around to all of their stuff. Thank goodness I have my parents to help. I coach a softball team on the side, as well as running this YouTube channel. I'm a busy person, and among all that, I have to fit in my workouts. They are a part of my sanity and my peace of mind, but it's for sure an 80-20 rule. I am not 100% on with my workouts all the time, and that's okay. Some days you got it, and some days you don't. This is a journey, and I totally thought that I was going to get to the destination a whole lot sooner, but when you hit perimenopause, that destination does not come soon. And I'm really sorry to tell you that if that's breaking someone's heart. It broke my heart a little bit, because I'm like, oh, I'm gonna meet my goal by my 40th birthday, and then yeah, I'm totally not going to do that, and that is okay. And I've had to actually change my goals a little bit. I used to have a weight goal, and now I'm going by a body fat percentage goal, because I like the muscle that's on my body now that I'm really building it up. And once you start to do that, you start to build muscle, and then you find out that you can eat more with it, and that, hey, you get to rest more with it too, because you're burning more calories at rest when you have more muscle. You guys are going to enjoy it as well. And make a plan that works for you. I am personally using Daily Happens Fitness along with Mind Pump Muscle Mommy 15. I don't like long workouts. They don't work for my body. But I do like short, easy workouts that I can do. They're tough, don't get me wrong. I am lifting as heavy as I can right now. It makes a difference, but it's short. So if you can fit in those short, intense workouts, and what's even crazier is I'm not completely blown out by the end of them. I don't have that cortisol dump like I used to, which is really, really nice. So your fitness, it should be supporting your life. It should not be the main star of your life. Your eating needs to be in check. And guess what? You can use the 80-20% on your eating. If you're eating good 80% of the time, you should be good, girl. Some people might need more of a 90-20 because like they struggle so much with their food, then that's all right. But if you're having one of those nights where you just need to pick something up, just choose something a little bit healthier. Don't run through McDonald's, go to Chipotle. Or if your like family wants In-N-Out, make sure that you get your double lettuce wrapped or get a Flying Dutchman or something like that. Make it work for you in your life. There are so many alternatives. Sometimes you just really need to think outside of the box. So there are no perfect days. There are no perfect weeks. There is no perfect plan. And any coach will tell you that a training plan can be changed. It's just a plan. It's not something that you have to execute perfectly. Even if you're in the military, or my husband who's in the fire service, they have their ICE, initial contingent emergency. There you go, babe. If you have those all in place, you're going to be far more successful. And if you get off track, don't completely get derailed by it. I'm going to leave you with one last story. So I think it was 2 weeks ago, I was in Vegas with my softball team, and one of our outfielders made an error that she totally should not have made. She was being lazy, and she wanted to backhand a ball, and she let it get past her instead of going around it and getting in front of it. And if that had taken a funny hop, it would have hit her body. Anyways, so it took us a while to get out of that inning, and she was the second batter up, and I pulled her aside, and she's like, "I'm sorry, Coach Mandy. I know I should have done." I said, "Stop. It doesn't matter because you've already messed up. It's already in the past. What are you going to do now?" And the truth is if you have those weeks or those days or even those months where you've messed up, you really just need to ask yourself, what are you going to do now? What are you going to do from this moment forward? What are you going to change to make things better right now? So you had a bad day. Okay, what are you going to do now? And that's what actually really matters. I think that's what God says for us as well. I think it's Father Mike Schmitz, maybe it's Jeff Cavins, someone on Hallow says that, the hardest day to read the Bible is the day after you don't read it. Point is, you just have to open up your Bible and you have to read it. So what are you going to do? Are you going to go to the gym tomorrow? Are you going to make a plan to go to the gym tomorrow? Are you going to make a plan to eat better? Are you going to order better groceries? Are you going to make a decision to go to a better restaurant or someplace that has better food for you? It's those little decisions. If you're super tired and blown out, are you going to make the decision to stress your body out more and make it so that way you have a harder time recovering and then break down muscle and make yourself even worse off than you were before? Or are you going to make the decision to take it easy for a day and then hit it hard the next day? What are you going to do now is what you really need to ask yourself. Remember, at this time of life, we train for longevity. We're training for energy. We're training for stability. And we're training for the rest of our lives. You want to make a plan that will work for you for the long haul. You don't want to crush yourself, get to your goal weight, and then be miserable because it's not sustainable, and then you're going to just gain all the weight back. You need to do this in a sustainable fashion. What are you going to do now? Thank you so much for watching Mandy's Mess. I kind of rambled a little bit, but I hope that this video was helpful for some of you. Like and subscribe, comment below if you've made it this far. Comment this little emoji right here below if you've made it this far. Thank you so much, and I hope you all have a great day.